came in and put a shift in. Hard. You saw Dean getting cramp at the end. He covered a lot of ground and he hadn't played a full 90 for a while. So, delighted with him, their effort and endeavours. But to lose 2 key players and speaks volumes for the squad. We've got the quality there, but it's not about high numbers. It's about keeping it lean and tight and making sure everyone can see the first team. So delighted with that. We have players on the bench like Nicky Clark today who didn't get on. And he hasn't got on for 2 games now. He'd be frustrated, but he trains like a top-class pro every day. His quality is undoubted, and obviously his time will come.
It's easy to forget it was a heavy pitch out there today, but the likes of Don Ball came into the centre midfield and put in a great shift.
20 years old, centre half on loan here at the club, was asked to play out of position, and I thought he did a tremendous job. He knew the emphasis on him. It was a big crowd here today, a very important game, and for a young player to respond in that manner speaks volumes for Don Ball. So delighted for him and the role he played for the team today, and as I say, a key member of the 3 points.
And what does it say for your squad again, your team today, certainly that they went right until the final whistle, into injury time, kept going and got that goal they deserved?
No, we got the goal. The only negative in the second half, and I'll pick the Don Ball in a minute, we never run a ball into the corner. We never ever do that, and I saw him do it right at the end. I was running down the touchline myself to tell him, but no, it tells you that they're fit, their hunger, their desires there. We knew, as I say, right at the start, we weren't at our best today, but sometimes you do win ugly, and there are big 3 points today, and if you can win when you're not quite at your best, it speaks volumes about the desire and the commitment of the squad.
I'm sure a lot of people in the media today were writing that this was the first time the Rangers had failed to score a goal in a competitive game under yourself. That obviously wasn't the case, but it's so important to keep that run going.
It is important for us, and it's important that they've trained really well, but as you say, the pitch was heavy, and the ground staff done a magnificent job to get it in that condition. The weather we've had recently, the wind was really strong. It's difficult conditions, and sometimes you don't appreciate that from the sidelines or from the stands. But really important, another clean sheet for the defenders, and you saw people throw their bodies into block and cover around well. So it's good for us. It's a big 3 points. It's another message out. We now move a gap between ourselves and Falkirk, and we look forward to Tuesday night and Wraith.
And of course, a wee bit of credit has to go to Falkirk. Of course, they put in a resilient performance today, well organised the game, but as you say, you managed to break them down in the end.
We knew that. I said before, I said in our press conference last week, Peter, expertly manages, they're well organised, they're disciplined, they have quality, they have danger, they can hit you, and we had to know that we knew before kick-off it'd be a very tough test today. So great to come through, great to get the clean sheet, delighted with the 3 points.
Of course, you'll now have a break from Championship due to go into the Kilmarnock game next weekend. It's a big game and one I'm sure the team's looking forward to now.
It is, but Tuesday night is all we worry about right now. That's the only emphasis is Tuesday night. So if we can get another 3 points, go there, prepare well, train well, deliver another good performance, get 3 points on the board, I hope, and then we can focus on the cup from there.
And we're coming to the closure of the transfer window, of course. I've got to ask you about that. Is there any further forward in terms of bringing boys in?
We're still working, so let's see how the next 24, 48 hours goes. Time is running short, but a lot of work's going on in the background, so if it's successful, all well and good. If it's not, I'm delighted with the squad we got.
Yeah, so there we are. We've heard it for ourselves. Mark Bournett's interview. Again, I mean, this guy in front of the camera, with microphones stuck in his face, I think he handles himself superbly.
Brilliantly, absolutely brilliant. I mean, that was the Rangers TV guy that was interviewing him there today. I don't know that guy's name, but before I go any further, Tom Miller's reaction to the goal today was absolutely brilliant. And I remember the Brazilian. You remember that famous Brazilian when the Brazil scored the goal and the Brazilian was goal?
That's right, yeah, it was very...
Well, I mean, the passion in Tom Miller's voice when Billy King scored that goal today was absolutely fantastic. It really was.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people's heads went down. It's the 89th minute, going into the 90 minutes. It's going to be a draw. Goal comes right at the end,
as he said, as he did say, Tom Miller and Alan. God, who was it? Oh, can't remember. The other commentator, and that's something else that pleases me greatly that Derek Johnson's not sharing a booth with Tom Miller. That's another story. They were saying that they were quoting that stat saying this was the first game, and other than the first friendly that we played, we've scored in every game that Mark Warburton's been in charge. And they were quoting that as a start. And they're going, and then boom, there you go, 90th minute, there you go, and Tom Miller. I mean, it was obviously must have been dancing because it was roaring and shouting. It really was. I mean, you know where his heart lies. I mean, that man, see when we hit the skids, he was doing his job for nothing. I know that for a fact. Unlike certain managers that we had, saying they would take a pay cut, but we're not going to talk about that, mate. I don't fancy a nosebleed at this time on a Saturday night.
No, not me. I can't. I wouldn't waste any more of my time speaking about that chap. A couple of points.
Lest we forget, mate. Lest we forget. No, lest we forget. We don't want ever. You can never forget that episode in our history.
No, we can't. We can't. I mean, a couple of points I picked up from the Matt Warburton interview. The team spirit. I mean, compared to what it was like under kind of
the certain man, yes.
Yeah.
You shall not be named.
Yeah, it's night and day with the team spirit, and I think you can see that with kind of Matt Warburton, kind of first name basis with a lot of the players' nicknames and different things. You can see the kind of camaraderie between all the players. It just seems Rangers seems like a really good place to be right now.
Yes, I mean, without a doubt, yeah. Mark Warburton, for me, is the epitome of what a Rangers manager should be. He's sort of, he can stand there beside the rest of them, a resplendent-looking Rangers manager. Oozing class. I mean, they were saying, I think Tuesday night's going to be his 31st game, and they said it's the same number of games that Paul Le Guen managed us. That was another stat I was saying. Now, I, for one, have got a lot of sympathy with Paul Le Guen. Paul Le Guen did not realise how bad Scottish football was. We were still in Europe when he walked away. But listen, here's one for you. No, he had no affinity with Rangers whatsoever until he signed with us. Mm-hmm. But he resigned and walked away, shook hands and said, "It's not working out for me, lads. I'm off." Never took a penny out of the club. Mm-hmm. Compare and contrast that with a real Rangers man that did a Bobo Baldy on us.
Yeah.
And I'll say no more. But Paul Le Guen, so therefore, yeah, you go up to the Argyle restaurant and you start William Moulton, Bill Struth, Scott Simon, Davy White, and they all look. I mean, they really do, epitomise what the Rangers manager was. And you see the photograph of McCoist, and he looks the same. But when I used to see him, see that tour in North America, I have never came as close to putting my foot through my computer. But he turned out and he had like 4 days growth. He hadn't shaved and he had an old pair of shorts on. Mm-hmm. And I thought, and now, you've got to remember, this is a well-advertised tour in North America where the team's going to be there as ambassadors for the brand.
There was times when McCoist was in charge, right? There was times when that man was in charge where you looked at Rangers Football Club and you say, it's like Butlin's holiday camp. That's the way it was. The players were in the park. For instance, Black, he's on the park running around. They're getting schooled of kind of part-time teams.
College teams in America, were absolutely embarrassing us. I'll just finish that and we'll move on because but what I was going to say was you had loads of people in North America driving for hours and they were taking their kids and their grandkids, second and third generation Scots who had heard their dads and their granddads talking about the Rangers and Rangers are coming and we're going to go and see them and all the rest. And turning out with that, and then, as an ambassador for the club, that was just a ridiculous situation. But anyway, I'm saying that just to sort of prove how much I admire and respect the job that Mark Warburton is doing as a Rangers manager on and off the pitch.
What do you make of Mark Warburton saying? He said, running the ball into the corner, it's a big no-no under him. He felt like running up to the corner himself.
Yeah,
I think that speaks volume for the guy as well. He's into good, hard-fought games of football. He's not into all the naff that you see a lot of players doing in the park now. He's into playing the 90 minutes to the full. Playing the full 90 minutes.
He wants to entertain the fans. He's always said he wants to send the fans home happy. And most of the time it does. That was a poor display today. And we've had, over the past month or so, we've had some pretty ropey performances. But still 10 times what we were watching we were in the lower leagues because we were just not trying. At least the team is trying. We get beat 3-0 off St Johnstone, and I didn't feel all that bad because we tried and we competed, and there was a couple of lucky goals that they got. Could have went at one stage. We could have possibly sort of stepped up and won the game, but we were beaten. And Warburton was man enough to say, "Beating a better team." In the story, we were beaten with a better team on the night, and that happens, and that does happen. But it wasn't getting beat with that was a team from a league above us. So therefore, if we'd won, that would have been giant killers. But we were getting beaten with Albion Rovers and things like that. We were struggling, and McCoy used to stand and wait to shake the hand of every player that came off. He should have shook hands with the manager straight in the dressing room, and as every player comes into that dressing room, they get a proper tongue lashing off them. Don't forget, we get beat in the cup final at the Petrofac Cup, and where did the team go after that? The karaoke. When we get beat in the final in the Petrofac Cup, fans went home dismal.
That's
where
right.
Where did the team and the manager go?
Did they not go to some event, some after?
The karaoke party. The karaoke party.
Do you see what I mean about Butlins? It's like a holiday. It was a holiday camp. It wasn't like you were going to work to earn your wages, send the fans home happy. It was like going to Butlins and enjoying yourself. That's exactly what I envisage. It would have been like travelling to work. Under his regime.
I don't see Mark Warburton in March if we get a bad result saying, "Oh, we never get a pre-season,"
No.
In March, the man turned
cringeworthy.
round in March and said we didn't get a pre-season. Now, he's probably playing somebody like Elgin or Peter Heath, who have never in their puff ever had a bloody pre-season. But that was the excuse. Remember, the
transfer window was brought up again, Ian, and he seemed very relaxed about it, not worried about it at all.
Well, right, and Warburton we trust. I think we're all saying that, and he's got a good lead.
We shouldn't panic buy.
No, I
100% agree with that. You've already intimated that you don't want him to buy from the Scottish market at all.
Yeah. Do you think I'm wrong in saying that, Chris?
Do you know, I don't think you're wrong, but I don't think I don't think we should panic either. I think it's
I'm not looking for him to panic.
And Mark Warburton we trust, and I think we should trust his decision because look where he's got his so far.
100%, mate, 100%. But what I would say was, he's got McParland. McParland is meant to be one of the top-notch scouts. He really is. And if you look, they're doing a lot of work with the development team, and although Ian Durant was one of the Curly, Larry and Mo gang, he seems to be doing very well with under-20s. He seems to be doing it, and even the team are reacting well to him, because at one stage the words that was coming out of Auchenhowie, El Fideldo that writes the blog, the youth blog, used to come on and sort of give us a bit of information. And die-hard Rangers fans. I mean, Charlie Telfer's just been released not been released, he's been put out on loan by Dundee United. Now, when Charlie Telfer left, he left with my best wishes, because he was just getting used and abused at Auchenhowie. Yeah. It was just, it just wasn't happening. I'm now right. You made your bed, lie in it. I think we all sort of drifted that. But really, at the time when he done the right thing.
Yeah, well, he did.
It was no development whatsoever. There was players. I mean, look at Kane Hemmings. I have been told that every time that Kane Hemmings was drafted into the team, he was not 100% fit. The guy never got a chance. Now look at Kane Hemmings' record, and I think his stepdad's a big, massive Rangers fan. That's how he was always desperate to get to the Rangers. He scores everywhere he plays. But if you were just getting punted in and played out of possession and all the rest of it, I mean, there was Arnold Peralta, who tragically lost his life not so very long ago. Although I was his harshest critic, I don't think he ever played in his right position.
No, I don't think he got a fair trial at Rangers, to be fair. So to speak, I don't think I don't think the majority of the team under McCoy's got a very good run around on the park and get the chance to